One of the problems with most people who think they are selling is that they are just yelling. Welcome to this video where we are talking about once you are ready to sell, what next? Yes, most people are just yelling. What do I mean by that? It means when talking to someone, when you are talking to someone in a selling situation or selling environment, you are sounding just like a frog, just making noise. Why? Because you didn't get their attention first. Because you didn't get their attention first. You have to get their attention first. The new currency is attention, and the new bank account is your personal brand, someone says. I hope you've heard this before. Where attention goes, intentions follow. Now, Matthew 10:16 is a very interesting verse. Here, this is what it says. It says, be wise as a serpent and as harmless as a dove. It's Jesus sending out his disciples, and he instructs them, be wise as a serpent and as harmless as a dove. Now, this is the first time we are seeing the serpent in a good light in the Bible. What might this be talking about? Because the Bible in Genesis talks about serpent deceiving Eve, and in Revelation talks about the old serpent, the devil. So what is wise about the serpent? That now Jesus is telling us, be as wise as a serpent and as harmless as a dove. Now let's get back to Genesis 3:1. Bible says, now the serpent was more crafty than any other beast of the field that the Lord God had made. Genesis 3:1. He said to the woman, did God actually say, you shall not eat of the tree in the garden? That was the question, that was the approach that the serpent used, or that the snake used in approaching the woman. You see, so the serpent got Eve's attention before he started talking to her. Did God say that you shall not eat any tree in the garden? That's not what God said, of course. But what trick did he expect? The crafty and this wise, I don't know if it's wise, but let me say, okay, crafty serpent uses. He says, he brings a question which is not even true. It's coming from a certain context. It's coming from a certain context. So the serpent got Eve's attention before he started talking to her. But you, let's now look at you. What do you do when you want to persuade somebody? When you're in this selling situation, you've set up a selling event, what do you do when you want to persuade somebody? You just start yapping and you just start talking. You act as if people care because you care. I got good news for you. They don't care. People don't care. Why don't people care? Because you haven't gotten their attention. You have not gotten their attention. Do you know why? Because you are talking to them about stuff you care about, not stuff they care about. It's very important. You are talking to them about the stuff you care about, not the stuff they care about. So always remember this: where attention goes, intention follows. Where attention goes, intention follows. So you will never set the intention of someone until you get their attention. So the biggest work when you are beginning to sell is get someone's attention. You must get the attention of the people that you're talking to. You got to do something that makes them pay attention. You got to do something that makes them pay attention. You got to do something that makes them pay attention. And the only thing that makes them pay attention is themselves. Yes, it is themselves. You are your favorite subject. And guess what? Your potential client or client is their favorite subject. You only know, you've heard of what is in it for me. In other words, an attempt for you to get yourself off yourself to your client. So the problem is, when now you're reaching selling, you like to talk to people about you. You like to talk to people about your product. You like to talk to people about your pieces. You like to talk to people about your processes. It's about you as a person. You are just talking to people about yourself, about your thing. So please, please, please get this. You are talking to them about the wrong stuff. When it reaches selling, let me put this to you, your products, your pieces, your processes, you as a person, all that is wrong stuff. So if your processes, your pieces, if all those you see, I have, let me introduce you to my 8 modules, and you see, then I have this, then I'll add you this, then I'll add you. If nobody buys something because it has 8 modules, nobody buys because it has 10, 17 lessons. Nobody buys that. So if those are the wrong thing, what's the right thing? Talk to them about, and the only thing that they care about is their payoff. Their payoff. So let's say that I have this lead magnet, say 7 mistakes that keep people from having a positive mindset, right? So that is close because, you know, you're talking about them. But then positive mindset, every time you are getting ready to tell somebody, these are the 5 mistakes that keep you from. These are the 7 mistakes that keep you from. Whatever thing that is keeping them, whatever thing that is keeping them, ask yourself this question. Ask yourself this question. Are they sitting around thinking or wondering, how can I have this? Do you think that thing you're saying, okay, 4 mistakes that keep you from, 3 that is, you know, are they seated there saying, okay, how can I have this thing? What do I mean by that? Are you saying that now your client is sitting around thinking, wondering, how can I have a positive mindset? Okay, do you think your client right now is sitting there wondering, how can I have good marriage? Or how can I have that thing you're saying? You see, you're promising. So if the answer is no, it means you're talking to them about the wrong thing. So you as an expert, yes, you may know what a positive mindset can do to them, but they don't know it yet. So instead, think about, if they had a positive mindset, what would they be able to do that they can't do right now with the negative mindset? Let's say you're a relationship coach or you're a marriage coach. What would they be able to do that they can't do right now with a bad marriage? Think about that. Okay, maybe they cannot have good sex. If you're talking to men, maybe they cannot have the respect that they desire if you're talking to men. So those are the things. Talk about the stuff that is keeping them from, that thing's keeping them from, because now the bad marriage is keeping them from good sex. The bad marriage is keeping them from respect. The bad marriage is keeping them, you see, now, if you talk about sex, if you talk about respect, that thing that's keeping them from, you now have their attention. So in other words, talk to them about the stuff that is keeping them from, not the things that you're going to give them. Talk to them about the sex in this case. Talk about them about the respect needs. Not, you see, you're going to get my 4 things of communication. Oh, my this. You see, because the communication is going to bring about the other thing that is lacking. They are not lacking communication. I don't wake up thinking as a man, say, you know, I lack great communication. No, I lack great sex. I lack maybe sex respected by my wife, if that's the case. You see, in other words, talk about the thing that they already know is missing. So if I have issues with my marriage, I know this thing that is missing, and that thing is what? Maybe respect is missing. Maybe sex is missing. I know what is missing. You don't need to tell me. So when you talk to me about what is missing, you have my attention. But when you talk to me about the 8 tricks or 8 things of communication or this, I'm just picking these things to give an example. But I hope you get my point. So I hope this makes sense. So talk to them about what is missing already. What is your niche? What do you help people? Talk to them about what is missing. So in that way, you get their attention. And remember, where attention goes, intentions follow. And then it even becomes better. Where intention goes, emotions follow. Where attention goes, intentions follow. But where intention goes, emotions follow. So here's what happens. When someone intends that they want to take advantage of something, I mean, after they have become decisionally invested, they usually become emotionally invested. Once they have become decisionally invested, they automatically become emotionally invested because they have made a decision. Because, once they have made a decision, they are going to make sure that their cognition lines up with that decision. They're not willing to have cognitive mismatch between the things that they decided to do and the thing that they believe is good for them. In other words, what they have decided to do is what they feel is good for them. So once they have decided they're going to do something, they start feeling good about it because they have already decided. You get it? So yes, sometimes you buy a car that you don't like, but because now you bought the car, you then decide to like your car. So when you make a decision, your emotions will follow. I'm just this wrong mind I'm fighting in my mind. But sometimes you may not like the girl, but after marrying and you decide to like her. That was the example that was disturbing my mind. Let me bring it out. So where intention goes, emotions follow. Then where emotion goes, rationalization, justification, and actions follow. This is a very powerful concept if you want to be successful with sales. So here's the thing that happens. And this is one of the biggest mistakes that some people make. These are guys who like spreadsheet, they like all this PowerPoint thing. One of the problems they have with selling is that they want to give all the reasons why you should buy. But let me tell you this, even logical people buy emotionally. You have to get them to feel like it first. You do not lead with logic, you lead with emotions. Sell their feelings and let the logic solidify the deal. So lead with emotion, sell their feelings. So I'm telling you, sell their feelings. Tell them how good it is going to feel when they get it. That is what you should lead with, how good they are going to feel when they get it. You see, when you think about your ride, talking about your car, maybe Range Rover Sports that you drive, you don't think about the 30 horse engine and all this the strong metal, the blah, blah, blah. You don't think about that. When you think about your mansion, where you live, you don't think about that strong beam that carries the balcony up. That's not what you think. You see, when you think about your mansion, all you think about is when you get upstairs and you're looking over the neighborhood and the cold breeze and what you feel. That is what you think. It may not be that exactly that's what happens, but that's what it feels like when you get up there. And you are looking over the neighborhood and you look over a beautiful view and you're just enjoying the cold breeze. That is what it feels like. I hope you pick what I'm talking about. So the same way with that ride, when you're in that ride, you have feeling, what it means to step out of what it is about feeling. So learn to describe things or learn to describe what you do in feelings and then solidify with logic. This will change the game for you when you are selling. I guarantee you. Learn to describe what you're doing in feelings. Think about it so that you are able to wake up people's emotions. Remember, get their attention, and then you'll get their intentions. Once you have their intentions, you'll have their emotions. Once you have their emotions, then the justification, all that, and the actions follow. This is how you make selling easy when you're in a selling environment.